Hello chess lovers, Soren here, and in today's video I want to take a quick look at an attacking game played at the ongoing 2022 Vergani Cup. On the white side is Ukrainian chess grandmaster Anton Korobov and his opponent is Indian international master Subramaniyam Bharath. This game is from round 3 and Korobov opened up with d4. So it turns out that this is the first game played this year which I'm publishing on my channel, right? Let's go for it. d5 was Subramaniyam's answer, c4, Queen's Gambit, c6. Black is setting up the solid Slav defense. Knight f3, knight f6, knight c3 and e6. Black is going for the well-known semi-Slav defense, which has a reputation of a very solid opening. Queen a5, Cambridge Springs defense is on the board, which leads to sharp and double-edged positions. Yes, usually this leads to a dynamic battle. Queen d2 bishop b4. Black is starting to put pressure on white's position. Rook c1, knight takes c3. An alternative is playing h6. In our game we have knight takes c3 and after b takes c3 we have bishop a3, rook b1 b6. Now black wants to trade off the light squared bishops. For example, in case of bishop d3, black can play bishop a6. That's why white acted against that idea and played queen d3. Black castled kingside, bishop e2, rook e8, and white also castled kingside. All in all, we have an equality on the board, nothing special. e4 and e5, stopping white's further advance. Bishop goes back on d2 h6, queen c4, bishop b7. Finally black is developing the last piece, is connecting the rooks, and a4. White is preventing any possible b5 moves. Rook a d8. So far so good, but it looks like that in here Subramaniyam is losing the momentum and is making a mistake. Better was playing e takes d4, and now as the queen is hanging, play queen h5. The queen is somehow finding itself harassed, but yeah, this is something worth of taking into consideration. This line could give black an equal fight. White can go for the exchange of queens. White has a slight initiative, but all in all, there are not much issues in opponent's camp. Instead, we have rook a d8 and rook e1. c5, queen b3. Queen b3 is a very interesting move. In here, the move which asks itself to be played just by throwing a quick glance at the position is d5. But Korobov came up with an interesting idea and he decided to sacrifice the central pawn on e4, which black happily won. Now the rook is hanging, and here white reveals his idea of playing queen b3. There followed bishop c4 hitting on f7. Black accepted the exchange sacrifice as well, and we have bishop takes f7 check, king h8, queen takes b1. By sacrificing the rook, by going for an exchange sacrifice, white managed to weaken opponent's light squares, and now by relying on that fact, white can organize a dangerous kingside attack. This knight h4, knight g6 is now coming and black has to be very careful. Rook e7, bishop c4, e takes d4. A serious mistake after which black's position collapses. Stockfish suggests b5, an interesting move, but I guess that from a human point of view, coming up with this continuation is extremely difficult. If bishop b3, then queen takes b5, and it looks like that somehow black is managing to repel the attack. Or in here, if bishop d5, then e takes d4. Strangely, this makes sense. Having the queen on a4 makes sense, but instead we have e takes d4, and already in this case knight h4 turns out to be destructive. The difference is that, for example, in the previous sideline, for example in here, if you play knight h4, then black can block the light squared bishop's diagonal, while in this position already, for example, after e takes d4, knight h4, you can no longer restrict the movement of this light squared bishop, and now black is in trouble. The exchange of rooks on e1 followed. knight f6, c takes d4, hitting on a5, queen takes a4. Yes, I really don't like how this queen is placed. Knight g6, check, king h7, queen b1 with a devastating threat. Of course, in here with rook d5, black could somehow prolong the resistance. Or I don't know, maybe knight d5. But yeah, this double check is coming, and it looks like that checkmate can also follow very quickly, right? Well, not a checkmate, but yeah, it looks like that again. White is winning. Rook d6, d takes c5. Yeah, black can't save this position. In our game after queen b1, we have rook takes d4, and this is something which steps into a forced mate. Please pause the video and try to find the mating line for white. That's very simple, and I'm sure that in a blink of an eye you saw this marvelous combination. Back to good old days where chess masters were sacrificing their queens and were announcing a smothered mate. Yeah, nice that Subramaniyam allowed his opponent to announce this checkmate. We enjoyed this final combination a lot. Good game by Korobov. Hope that you also liked it. Feel free to share with your friends as well. And in the end, a chess puzzle, a simple one where the task is to win with the white pieces. As usual, we'll wait for your answer in the comment section. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in my next video.